So I'm particularly excited about this because I love guacamole. So what's first?
Well, first we got to talk about avocados because basically guacamole is predominantly avocados. So what you want to make sure is you buy as perfectly ripe as an avocado as you can get, or buy them underripe and let them ripen at your home, because you know if it's not ripe, it's too hard, it doesn't make good guacamole. If it's overripe, it's brown and yucky looking and it just doesn't make good guacamole. So you really want to kind of feel so it's just soft. It doesn't want to be real soft, but just soft. It starts to wrinkly and stuff, that's too ripe. If it's too hard, that's underripe, just a little pinch. These are a pretty nice shape. And then what you got to do, and be careful with your knife, okay? But you want to cut it in half, okay?
Remember, you always need your parents' permission before you use a knife.
So I like to take my knife and put it between my fingers like this, and then just
So you don't want your fingers anywhere near it,
That's
right?
exactly right. And you can actually then rotate it. Once you get your cut in, you can just rotate it like that.
Okay.
And it cuts it right around the pit. And then you just twist it and open it up. And see how it's nice and green and
that's
soft?
beautiful,
okay?
yeah.
Now, there's different ways of getting that pit out. A lot of chefs will take a knife. If you're going to make guacamole, okay, where it's going to end up being smashed up anyway, you can just take it, squeeze it, and pop it out. Okay? That's an easy way to do it.
Okay.
And then you can also just take a spoon and just
Scoop everything out?
scoop right out like that. Now, if the avocados are a little bit firmer, sometimes if you take them, you just roll them like this before you cut them, it actually makes them nice and soft and mushy too.
So I should roll it?
Yeah, just roll it gently. See how it softens up?
Oh, yeah.
Softens right up, doesn't it? It's almost like mashing it up for you. All right, so I'm going to let you go ahead and finish off knocking off those avocados. Okay, and I'm going to talk about how to cut an onion, because basic guacamole is going to be just avocado with some lime or lemon juice, some salt, okay, and a little bit of pepper. That's it. That's traditionally how it's served. But you also can dress it up and make it more flavorful by adding some tomato, and some jalapeno, and some cilantro. You can also put some finely diced onion in it. And I'm going to show you a technique for cutting an onion. Now, this is a nice refrigerated onion, which is a cool thing, because you know onions kind of make you cry, you know?
Right.
If you
I don't like
refrigerate your
chopping onions because they always make me cry.
Everybody says that. If you refrigerate them, it makes them less likely to do that. So now we take the very edge of a knife, and remember how I said we're going to rotate the onion. Instead of pushing the knife, we're going to just pull it in and out. We're going to cut out that part right there. We're going to leave the root end attached at the back and cut it right in half. Now see that I put the flat side that I cut immediately down, because that's the side with the juice that's going to burn your eyes.
Okay.
Now this is already kind of peeled, but it looks like it's got a little bit of a harder surface on it, so I'm going to take that outer layer off, because sometimes that's not nice. All right, so now I have half of an onion with the root end back here, and I'm just going to take my knife and I put little slits through it like this. Almost to the back, but not cutting all the way through. Okay, just like that. When I get to the other side, I turn it so I'm not cutting down a round slope into my hand.
That would be bad.
And I'm going to do one cut like that across. And then all you have to do, it goes into a perfect dice.
Wow.
Just like that.
Look how easy that looks.
See, you're not crying, are you?
No, I'm not. But
There you go.
I'm all the way over here.
All right, so we got our avocados going here. Why don't you get one more in there, and we'll
right.
get the rest of this made up. You're
I'm
doing
working
great
on
with that.
it.
You were meant to work in a kitchen, I can tell that.
I'm trying here.
You're doing wonderful.
There
you
we
gotta be careful.
go.
See that little dark thing right there? You want to pull that out.
Okay.
Okay.
Is this also part
That's
of
just a little skin. Yeah, you can get that out right there. And then you just take a fork and you just mash it. Okay? Now, avocados are going to turn brown on you really quick. They oxidize is the word for it. It's kind of a fancy term.
Right. How do you prevent that?
Well, you add some acid to it. And traditionally in Mexico, they take lime juice and they just squeeze limes in it. Some people will tell you if you leave the seed in it, it keeps it from browning, and that does work a little bit. And restaurants will actually use a little bit of sour cream.
Ooh.
And the sour cream not only keeps it from turning color, it actually gives it a little lighter, brighter color. And it adds a little more flavor to it. So that's kind of a restaurant trick.
Huh.
Okay? Okay, I'm going to season this with just a little bit of sea salt. I like sea salt because it's got some minerals in it. It's got a little bit more flavor. We're going to put just a little bit, we're going to sprinkle it in there so we don't put too much in. We're going to add some diced jalapeno for that pepper. So I don't necessarily need to add the fresh ground black pepper. So I'm going to put that finely diced without the seeds so they're not too hot. I'm going to put a little bit of cilantro in there. I'm going to put a little bit of finely diced tomato in there.
All right, here's our last little bit
Last
of
one, okay, let me get that off the spoon
avocado.
for you.
All right.
Let's mash that up.
And just the last little bit left.
There we
go.
Okay.
All right.
We're going to put some finely diced onion in here. Okay.
So that's how we dress up our avocado?
That's how we dress up our guacamole. We got to put a tuxedo on it. She's got some fancy guacamole here.
It's ready for its black tie event.
It is. This is like black tie guacamole here. It makes it a little bit brighter. You'll see it. It adds a little more complexity to it.
It's got a nice thickness to it.
Oh, it does. And you know, avocados are so healthy for you. It's one of the few fruits that actually have a healthy saturated fat in it. You know, you've got your tomatoes in here. I mean, this is a nice, healthy dish, and it's filling. There you go, dip some in there and try it, see what you think.
Looks so good.
Nice and fresh with the tomatoes and the cilantro and the onions in there. Can you taste it all? Kind of rocking it up a little bit.
Wow, that's really good.
There you go.
Thanks, Chef Johnny.
My pleasure.
Guacamole has become very popular in the US. In fact, the sale of avocados rockets to 30 million pounds on 2 days each year. The Mexican holiday Cinco de Mayo and Super Bowl Sunday. For Teen Kids News, I'm Nicole.